ton of that a day. That's just
Elsa makes some pretty rock right now.
We're at Bert, tell us about something about this place so that we'll have it for the record.
well, the mines, the drifts went right inside of the mountain there where that big brown place is. The dump came right out here. The track is on it. All over out up at the great big bins here. And the trucks are back in there and load themselves, take off down the road. And we'd keep the bins full.
Oh boy. And that's talc.
This is talc. The high grade stuff is that slick stuff. Maybe I'll take a piece back for the garden.
Yeah, I would.
I'll be hauling it out of here with my truck. Yeah, there were some big wooden bins right where we're standing. Big wooden bins, and they back up the bins. Pull the gate, load the trucks, shut the gate again, and then we'd keep the bins full.
And they just
take off right down the road. Big old
California.
semis, yeah. They took them to a place right off the highway, the Southern California non-metallics. It's down close to Yermo.
Oh, I know where that is.
You can see it quite
It's close to the Calico mine, isn't it?
Yeah, only it's on the other side of the road.
Yeah.
It's a big processing plant for non-metallics.
Yeah. I remember.
I don't know. That's
got the grit in, see.
Yeah, that's not like slick like that one I had.
Right. We'd put that kind on the dump when we get a load of that. Keep the slick kind. I used to get sorted out pretty easy.
Somebody blasting.
There's a piece of high grade I'll take from the garden.
Huh?
There's a piece of high grade.
Oh yeah, shiny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey,
Put it in
Jim,
the garden.
down there where the houses was, did you get
That would be perfect.
Yeah.
Not too heavy to handle.
Did you get a picture of where the houses were?
No, let me do that.
That Bert take.
Well, it's right out on that point where that white is. There was a big one went right across ways, and then there was a couple perpendicular to them. The corrals were down at the bottom of the hill where he brought his cattle in.
And that down below there is just what came off of here, isn't it? Or down this side of where the houses were.
Yes.
How's that?
Don't know why they held it. Yeah, that's high grade. You're in the business.
I got,
Right.
over there, I got some bunch of rock and I took it out and on in the bottom.
Got me a piece of high grade from a garden.
And we're what was the name of this mine?
Oh, Bert, what was the name of this mine?
This was called Superior.
Superior Talc Mine.
Superior Talc Mine. I don't know exactly where the Excelsior is.
Boy, there's a layer of something else up there that's just a almost perfect layer.
Yeah.
That brown looking stuff that's got talc embedded in it.
Like I tell you, I just broke it, Dookie.
That's how you can tell. High grade, you can just almost break it with your hand.
Yeah, this breaking, see?
And the shaft to the mine has been closed up.
Yeah, the opening there is just drifted straight back into the mountain. There was a lower drift here and then the upper drift. The upper drift is actually where they were working, and then they'd dump it down a chute into the lower drift. And Howard and I would load it out of the chute, haul it out here and dump it into the bins.
How many guys working?
Howard and I and Dad and Uncle Al.
Oh, just
Oh no, there was the Ambrose brothers and Mr. Ambrose and his two sons.
and you just had to get so much a day out.
Yeah, we nobody told us how much we should do a day, and we found we were doing several ton over what the average was. You know, we were young and
You were doing a lot more than the 16 tons, huh?
Yeah. And we'd climb up the top of that mountain after work a couple of times a week and take dynamite and caps and fuse and put a quarter of a stick of dynamite and a cap and a fuse, short fuse in the barrel cactus and kick them off the side, and there's a big cliff over there. They go bouncing off that cliff, and we try to get them to blow up in midair, which we did several times.
Boy, that's dangerous, isn't it?
Several times.
Or would be considered dangerous now. It wasn't then, was it?
Fun, man. It just makes me tired to look up that hill now, let alone climb it. Oh yeah. Still hiking up the top of that.
See, that's not talc over there. That's snow. I'll get a shot of it. It sure is. The pure talc would be just that color. And this almost is.
The energy, I might hike up to where that upper drift was and see if it still opens, but I doubt it. It looks like to me they've come in with the loaders and just taken the whole side of the mountain off.
There's sure a lot more of it there, isn't there?
They went back into this mountain a long ways. We used to walk a long time before we'd ever get to the end of the lower drift.
Boy,
They've covered it up, I'm sure.
they must, maybe they don't use it anymore.
Either that or they mined it all out, you know.
Maybe that's it. They mine it.
Yeah, I'd like to see it in its original state, you know.
Yeah.
With the tunnels and the track and the tram cars and the whole works.
Yeah, somebody come in here and took a,
Yeah, they've open pit mined it.
yeah.
There's enough here, though, for a pretty big operation for several years, isn't there?
Well, unless they ran out of the high-grade stuff, they might have run out of the vein. The best sample I've seen there of good high-grade talc there. Nice and smooth,
Yeah.
soft. Oh, it's got a little inside, a little impurity inside. The outside there, that's just,
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
but it's got some impurities there.
Do you remember that the talc, is that the same type of talc they used to put in cosmetics?
I'm not
Like
sure.
powder?
I think talc is talc.
But it was. Right over that little ridge is another smaller mine like this. And then
Never did hear anyone say what that dark stuff was.
it holds water pretty good, doesn't it? Wonder how long ago it rained here. 3 or 4 days? Probably, and it's still about the same amount it started with.
One day I was bringing a load of talc out of the tunnel there, and there's a big old chuckawalla on the side of the entrance, and it went into a crack in the rock there. Which I grabbed it by the tail, and they just let go of they just turned their tails loose and just pulled its tail off. So I got my carbide, took a handful of carbide and threw back in the crack where he was, you know, they blow themselves up to hold themselves tight. Threw that handful of carbide back in there and threw a cup of water in on that, and got my carbide light off my head and torched it. I don't know what happened to the chuckawalla because I singed all the hair off my eyebrows and my arms. It blew up right in my face.
Yeah.
I came out the worst on that deal. I still don't know whether Chuckawalla got blown out of there or not.
It undoubtedly killed it.
You should take that
I end up the worst.
carbide, put it in a gallon can or something, and make just one little tiny hole, and just a little tiny bit of water, and put some light that match there, and man, you had a light.
Yeah, it burns a long time.
Yeah.
About 11 shots, 11 fuses to a shot. You'd light the first one, then the second time you got to that 11th, and that first one's been burning a long time. Boy, I'd get nervous. He'd cut the fuses different lengths, you know, so they'd all go off at the proper time. And it was quite an experience. And there was a dog. The dog used to hang around in the mine. He'd lay there by the track and go to sleep. And he'd come out with us usually. Just one time. He was asleep and nobody noticed it. We all came out and we'd always count the shots to be sure there wasn't a dead one there for the next day. Count them to be sure everyone went off. Counted that day. About the 5th shot, here come this dog swimming, just lickety split out the end of that mine. He had got caught in there, and well, the powder was going off. He sure came out. I don't know how he came out in the dark. He must have just followed the tracks. Yeah, it was a fun experience.
How long did Dad work out here? Just the summer too, or did
No, I think he was.
longer?
I think he stayed on after we quit.
We came out Thanksgiving.
That's why we,
Yeah.
we come out when you don't remember the boys.
No, then this Mr. Ambrose and I got transferred over to this Acme mine. I'd like to try to find it today over there.
Okay.
But we didn't, we were just dead mining, trying to find a vein. We were going to get a 5 cent an hour raise. We found ore, but we never did. Let me just shut her down.
Which direction is it from?
It's towards Copa.
See, that was 19 what?
41.
41? What was the wage then?
65 cents an hour. So we made $35 a week. Which is about, it was just a little less than I made in a month at that ranch guarantee where I worked.